7 meta pickups for this year's Megatins. Make sure you guys smash the little crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss on more awesome content. We're going to start over here with Heavy Polymerization. I think this is one of the cooler cards in the set. Basically allowing you to do a multi-fusion summon using multiple materials, using some from your extra deck if your opponent actually has, cards in the field. Now, unfortunately, you are going to get burned for damage. Like my throat is getting burned right here for full combo. Cheers to something being able to use things from the extra deck. About gosh darn time. I think this card is one of the coolest cards in terms of design that Konami could have actually printed for the TCG. And I want to see more things having conditions like this that allow you to use the extra deck as a resource to be able to fuse. Maybe not requiring your opponent to have cards on the field, but going second options are an incredibly welcoming thing, to be honest with you. So I got to give Konami a little bit of credit with that. Next up is Tyone. So Tyone, I think a lot of people have kind of wrote this card off in like the grand spectacle of things out here. I think people look at Tyone and go, hey, if you're special summoning multiple times, why do I need this card? It's a oh crap button. Something went wrong that you need to have in your extra deck if your deck allows you to play it. And I think that's the thing that players have forgotten about. You can stick a normal summon monster on the field, have its effects negated, and then be like, oh, crap! There went my starter. But if your starter sticks around and was just simply negated, drop that Tyone on top of it, suddenly it's a brand new world with a whole new attitude. You're suddenly a mecha god with the ability to bounce a card in the field, jamming things with 3,000 or more attack. I think that's pretty gosh darn good. Honestly, you really should consider the resources like that. Triton Dragon. Hydras are what, $30 a playset? They need a lot of hand traps. That's the Tenpai experience, right? It's $30 and then a lot of hand traps to make the deck good. You're going to need Fool War, so it's Dominus Impulse, so it's a $400 DLC package. Now that Triton Dragon has been reprinted out here, you have another $20 resource to put into the extra deck. It's not $100 anymore. That's the important thing about Triton Dragon's descent out of madness out here. That we're seeing this card dip down in price and having this huge swing around the corner out here. And I think that's fine. I think that you're allowed to still have Triton Dragon be a $20 card. It's a one of. I'm assuming it'll go down to 10 over time and probably much cheaper. Dispater. Now this card, I'm going to be honest with you. Dispater was one of the cards that I initially was like, do I need a copy of this? Am I ever going to play it? Yeah, me forgetting that rank 10 decks actually exist Synchro 10 decks actually exist out here. And you're able to do some pretty stupid things with some of these options. So you definitely should not forget that this Peter exists because, trust me, having played around with Peter, I'm like, yeah, this card's pretty good. Free special summons, free spin back of things out of the extra deck, out of the banner zone. They're pretty good. Especially, might be a little bit harder to make depending on, what deck you're playing, but I think that's fine. Like, it's not like you can't Crimson Dragon make this thing, right? Like, right, we can do that. Next up is Centurion cards. So Centurion cards are receiving their level 8 Synchro in the Rage of the Abyss. I think that Konami decided that they wanted to push Centurion cards for the community with this set because post that level 8 Synchro, things would have gotten a little bit more expensive. And Konami did not want to leave us in that situation. And that's perfectly acceptable. Konami is allowed to reprint these things and allow the community the chance to have them. All right. And I know there are a lot of people out here that have wanted to play Centurion for a very long time. You can do so now. And I am beyond excited for this. All right. Also, Stand Up Centurion Ultra Rarity upgrade. Thank you. I don't have infinite money glitch out here to make all of these stupid, collector's rare buyouts. And personally, I think the Ultra looks a little bit better. Horus. Oh man, this is a huge one. Unfortunately, I've seen him setties go up to some really stupid price points out here, which is a little bit disappointing. At the end of the day, let's call it what it is, but your Horus Splash package is some of the best cards available to you in this set, especially if you're a casual enjoyer out here. You just enjoy playing Yu-Gi-Oh! On the side, maybe not so much all the time. Or, you're like, hey, I can throw the Horus cards in my deck. I get an extra rank 8 package, some free special summons. Yeah, that's the optimism I look at in the Horus package. It's not only an emergency button in case you brick, depending on the deck you're playing, but it does give you access to the rank 8 toolbox / extra extenders, or, you can just leave the 4 bros on the field and they can actually do things. The Horus cards, believe it or not, actually have effects. And they are pretty gosh darn good. Chaos Angel. Whoo! This card, the pure amount of, people that forget the Chaos Angel is an entirely generic card that doesn't actually require a tuner monster is absurd to me. You play this card because it's literally a card that can cheat itself out as long as you got light and dark on the field and they, line up to 10. All right, that is the major thing here. Generic card broken. Generic card put opponent in really bad position, and you're just like, oh yeah, like this is the power. Yes, it is. Chaos Angel is an absolutely mandatory card that you need to have as a one of on the bare minimum. Unless you're playing some extra shit, and I don't know what you're trying to do out here. I understand innovation and having fun, but you trying some really weird stuff out here, Duelist, and I guess I can appreciate that. It's definitely something. Diona Star and Wanted. So, you can finally get your Diona Stars in your Wanted package, your Bonfires. Everything underneath the sun for the Fire package can be yours. For, well, maybe not the level that you really wanted. Keep in mind that this whole packet, at least the Diona Stars receive another reprint in Bonanza, confirmed by Konami, so maybe picking up the Diona Stars might not be the craziest thing in the world right now, because you're just going to lose a lot of value immediately over time, but as of putting this together, this package is one of the biggest desired things out of this set. People are crazy right now wanting to pick up this, because Azumina is a tier 0 engine. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players just don't understand what's coming for them out here. I'm about to devastate them with the power of my Wanted. Read too many Yu-Gi-Oh! Fanfics. ASB Little Night. Technically, this is the best pickup in the set for cards that you need. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. You can spin it however you want. You can look at this set and you can go, yeah, SP this is the pinnacle of the meta domination one of. You can play 2 SP. I mean, it hasn't really seen a lot of play as a 2 of. We're kind of past that era of like the SP wars and things like that. And that's fine. But $50 for a staple that, trust me, once you have access to an SP, you're like, that was pretty good. The spot removal option, being able to rip away something that your opponent has on the field that's being an inconvenience to you. Yeah, trust me. All right, it's going to feel really nice. It's worth the $50, in my opinion, to have that card for the competitive resources that it gives to you. All right, and then I actually put cheap deck cores up here as the last possible thing. For the meta pickups, people enjoy just getting the chance to get a set of cards that they want all wrapped up in a nice bow. Maybe you want to play Vanquish Soul, maybe you want to play, whatever the purely stuff available in this set. It's a fantastic opportunity to you to be able to pick these things up en masse and have them sitting aside for your own personal collection for, deck building and whatever strategy you might find that you're wanting to play for the time being. And that's the important thing. You're allowed to have your own choice of meta. Don't expect it to be the best, though. So what do you guys think about meta pickups? Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace.
Patrons!
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.